I think this has been one of the best coaching jobs of Bill Belichick's career. He's had great teams, right? As we know, he's been to, 9 Super Bowls and won 6. Countless AFC East titles, numerous AFC championship games. With that said, I think this season so far, with a 6-4 Patriots team at the moment, through 10 weeks, I think it's definitely fair to say, and absolutely is the case, this has been one of Bill Belichick's best coaching jobs of his career. And here's why. They don't have the most talent in the world. They don't really excel in one particular area. Right? Their defense is sound and solid. They're not allowing a ton of points. Their offense has been, we'll say, efficient in getting the job done. But they don't have, let's say, a world-beating offense or an elite shutdown secondary. They don't have one of the best players in the NFL. Talent-wise, this is one of the lesser teams Bill has had. With that said, this year, in a topsy-turvy AFC, where no one has been able to consistently put two good games on top of each other, the Patriots have been the most consistent team in the NFL. That's a huge credit to them. That's a direct reflection on coaching. You look around the NFL, right, this year especially feels every team has had a stinker, has had a what the hell was that kind of performance, except the Patriots. Like, I get they lost to the Dolphins in week number 1, but to give both the Dolphins and Patriots credit, I do think that Dolphins team we saw in week 1 is a different team, a better team week 1 than what we saw, let's say, in week 9 or 10. That defense is better. Tua was still healthy and on the field. They had a full complement of weapons. So even though they lost that game, I would still say that's not exactly as bad of a loss as we've seen, where you have the Titans losing to the Jets. You had the Ravens lose to this Dolphins team, but again, this Dolphins team is way worse now than it was earlier in the season. The Ravens got blown out by the Bengals at home. You've had the Chiefs outside of last night basically struggle all season long, right? Offensively, they were never able to figure it out. Defensively, they're a mess for the most part. You had the Bills 2 weeks ago lose to the Jags, Score 6 points against the Jaguars in a loss. You had the Buccaneers lose to the Saints and Washington football team, both with backup quarterbacks. You could cut the Cardinals some slack. I'm not. When they lost to the Packers, as the Packers were missing their top 3 receivers at home in a short week, you got to be able to win that game. Arizona did not. You had the Rams team, who, look, I know they lost to the Titans. The Titans are 8-2, best record in the AFC. That's a bad loss. They were without Derrick Henry. That was the first game without Derrick Henry. If you're the Rams at home on Sunday Night Football, as one of the best teams in the NFL, I'm sorry, you can't lose that game. Can't lose that game. Packers week 1 were a total no-show against the Saints. So the point is, as I lay out everything here, all of the best teams in the NFL have had at least 1 week where it's like, oh, what the hell are you watching? Is this team really as good as we think? What is going wrong? And everything possibly could have just, gone south. Really, the Patriots are the only team you could point to this year that has shown up every week, that has competed every week, that's played hard every week, that hasn't gotten blown out. I know it's a little bit of a more victory card, but you look at the talent and where this team is. There was a ton of new players. They're working in a rookie quarterback. And the fact that they have competed and been in every game is a direct reflection and a massive credit to Bill Belichick. They're really the only team in the AFC that has been consistently showing up week after week. He's coached up really all 3 phases to play some really sound football. And this is, again, you're playing with a rookie quarterback. You have a team built through free agency, so there's a lot of new faces, a lot of new names that you're teaching a new system to, trying to get everyone on the same page. Yes, they have some veterans, but when there's so many new faces, you have COVID opt-outs now returning, there's basically a lot that had to be retaught, and it's almost like a brand new team Bill Belichick has been given this year compared to previous years. With that said, with all that turnover, with all that change, they're still playing clean, crisp football on a weekly basis. You look at Mac Jones. Mac Jones has done a tremendous job this season in leading the offense. Let's not forget, this is no small feat here to have Mac Jones playing well. Sure, was he the most NFL-ready quarterback coming out of the draft? I would say yes. And right now he's showing that. Well, let's also not forget, this is the first time Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels with the Patriots are working in a new quarterback, a rookie quarterback in 2 decades.